Hi, welcome to IT and Automation, and in this Kubernetes video tutorial series, today we will look into what is CRDs. We will try to understand its manifest, and we will create our own custom CRD. Once we create our custom CRD, we will apply those CRDs and see our resources in the same way as any other apps would have run. We will create a custom resource using that custom resource definition, like any app pods or services, and we will see all this together in action. So without further ado, let's jump into it. Let's run kubectl get CRDs to get a feel of it. Here you can see a list of CRDs that you generally get when you apply the likes of Calico or Argos, that kind of resources. Here it has a bunch of definition to it. It has name, metadata, and most importantly, it has API spec, or you can call it schema, right? which defines a set of requirement for that kind of application. So let's look into our own CRD. Here, this is a CRD example. Cat CRD.yaml. Here we are looking into our own custom CRD, which has API version of API extension.kds.io. Custom resource definition. We will modify that name and the spec it wants to respect. So here, if we do vim crd.yaml, and let's change that name to be a petition name. So let's use a set command here, %s/ the thing that we want to replace with the thing we would like it to be. So my apps.example and the API group got changed. And now if we apply this CRD, or let's look into the CRD first. Cat or less, that is the CRD, that is the schema. Oops, that is the CRD and that is the schema, which it will get applied, and that short name as well, right? You can also create your own short name for your app, which is done by doing that. Here we will apply that CRD. So now we wrote a CRD, we applied a CRD, which means you can list API resources now, and you should see your API group as any other resource type in Kubernetes. And that true means it is namespace scoped, which we will see in this file again. That there, which is namespace scoped. And now we will look into the resources. So based on the spec on that CRD, you are going to create this resource. Let's update again the name of API group, and let's make sure there's no typos or anything. Let's do that. Open the file. That's good enough. And now let's apply that resource type. It got applied. So now we created myapp.itandautomation.com/myapp-instance as a resource. Now if we look into the resource, which is not different to looking into any other resources, like kubectl command, you run a get and the resource type. kubectl get myapp.itandautomation, and it lists my application there, which is my app-instance. And let's look into that, which is exactly what we ran as a application type. So we don't currently have a controller. So what would happen is, let's say our CRD was supposed to interpret it as an running or deployment of Nginx with 3 replicas. We could do that through our controller. So currently we do not have that client side which interprets that given a resource for that API group. What we have done is we have created a custom resource definition and created a resource based on that custom resource definition. But there needs to be a controller in order to evaluate that and create you a resource for that. Like in general terms, you would expect 3 replicas of Nginx while looking into that spec. We can write a controller to interpret it in a way, in that particular way, and we could create that resource. So yeah, that's pretty much a quick round on CRD in an action. What we will do is we will come with a next episode of CRDs where we can talk about controller side of things as well. So for now, that's all, and see you soon.